So, Dan, you've been in the industry like myself for a very long time. Am I correct?
Yeah, I was a rep for almost 25 years, and I was uh, selling exclusively Fluke product, fiber testers, network testers, cable testers, and covering New York, New Jersey, and Philly primarily.
All right. Well, you know what? And there's a little bit of synergy there because I myself was a rep at one time out of Texas with a company called PSA. Kerry Williams. I'm sure you know
Yep.
Kerry Williams. And I became the number one Fluke guy in a matter of time. And the reason being, I think that I kind of went like this instead of my normal, status right now. Is I used Fluke out in the field, and so I really knew how to use them right from the get go. And that was with their old DSP 2000s or 4000s or
Yep.
whatever those things are. And then they went
Yep.
on to other things. And that's part of what we're going to talk about today is those collaborations. Um, the old days of doing certification, I would either use, a pair tester, and sometimes that was applicable, right?
Right.
Oh, and the mod taps came out. Remember those? All right.
Yep.
And so then Fluke really emerged on the scene, and it was a faster, easier way of testing them. But not to go into that particular brand, but I can specifically remember having walkie talkies, and you got somebody underneath the cubicle, and I'm in the closet, or vice versa, and they're calling in to see what port you're in. You're typing in that port, right? And you hit print. And if you've got thousands of drops, I mean, that's a lot of time, right?
Yes.
And hopefully it was labeled before you certified that. But a lot of cases, sometimes they did it backwards. I still don't understand that. But everything has evolved. Everything. Um, we still don't have cassette players in our cars. Although I think Bruce Page in his 1979 Datsun B210, he still drives around, still has a cassette player. But everything has evolved and everything's got better. And so one of the things that happened years and years ago is that we came up with a collaboration with Fluke, and that really started the whole thing. And the whole idea was to use an app that you can take something out of their cloud-based service that is going to go inside their test units, their head unit, but yet load that into our PTE 550, which is right there. All right. So it's kind of a one and done thing. And I love this one and done thing. And so I discovered a little loophole in the app. And what that did is it allowed me to form other partnerships here. And it's basically what you have in front of you.
Yes.
And again, it makes life easier. Number one, right? You don't have to stand there. You don't have to do this stuff. Number two is that less mistakes. And so the less time you can spend with this, the better the job is going to be, the more profitable the job is going to be. And so you've had a lot of experience, Dan, with everything that you've got in front of you,
Yes.
right? And you offer everything that you've got in front of you for sale.
Yes.
Am I correct? Okay.
Yes.
So the recent part, so it started with AEM, all right, after Fluke, started with AEM, Lisa with AEM, and man, that worked like a champ. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they've been on the show. And then from there, we went to Trend, I believe, or Softing, either one of those guys. And Mike Grindle's been on board. Wendy, of course, who's retiring, has been on board. And Wendy, if you're out there, thank you for the interview at Bixie last week. Then Tom Jallo from Softing. I love Tom, man. I mean, we're both just intellectual people. Tom is at least. And so you're kind of in a unique situation as we are. So brother works with everything that I've got behind me and everything on your desk, and you offer everything that you are displaying. All right. And I can sit here and I can talk labeling, schmabeling, stickers, schmickers, and stuff like that. I'd like to hear from you, not only from maybe a perspective as a former rep, but now with cable and connections, the ability to really offer all of your contractors and end users a better way of doing things. So, I'm going to turn the floor over to you for a little bit, talk about the integration and what you see as far as using one database and being able to load two. But take a few minutes and give me your perspective on that, if you don't mind.
No. So it's really it's been enlightening after coming here and working at this company for the last year and a half, 2 years. Now, besides, I always just was yellow. I was selling yellow tools. Now I get to sell everything. And when I talk to a customer about a net ally tool, network analysis that, I can also talk, we're testing the cabling, but is it labeled, right? So we can I go through my whole spiel on how this is going to help them, but then, it'll help them in the future if they label the cables that they're testing, right? So it's whether it's a end user or it's a contractor, integrator, and even on cell phone towers now, I'll get to call on guys, and one of these products will fit their needs, and the brother works with all of these now, right? So it was just Fluke for me, but now each one of them can interface with the brother printer and label these cables that they're testing, and so that they have no issues down the road.
He's larger than life. He'll give you strife.